Vern Mott stood tall in the Bobcats' crease for 2 years, but his BU hockey journey began with humble beginnings as a walk-on player.
The young guy that showed up at Brandon University and asked if he could play for the team. I'm not so sure I understood why the coaches would think this was a guy that we needed. So I was pretty innocent looking then.
Born and raised in small-town Saskatchewan, Mott played with the Cats from 1979 to 1981. He was named the GPAC First-Team All-Star in back-to-back years and an All-Canadian. His efforts earned him a spot in the BU Sports Wall of Fame in 1996.
It was never my intention to try and be an All-Star or be an All-Canadian. That was somebody else's decision that they decided that I did stop enough pucks to reach that.
Mott was a member of one of the most memorable seasons in program history in 1980-81. He backstopped the Bobcats to the number 1 ranking in the country, followed by a conference championship. Brandon's run at a U Sports title came to an end when Mott was injured in the opening game at Nationals.
We got on a roll and we rode that wave all season. And then all of a sudden, we had a little trouble, and it was over.
Mott embarked on a 9-year pro career in Norway and represented the Norwegian national team at the 1988 Olympics. The Winter Games featured 2 other Bobcats from 80-81, Von Karpen with Canada and Bruno Roger with Switzerland. Yeah, well, why didn't you guys get an iPhone and take a picture for this story all these years later? What were you guys thinking?
Well, the iPhone, I think, was invented about 30 years later, wasn't it? We could have got a 35, what was it called, 35 millimeter camera and taken a picture, maybe.
Mott retired in the early 1990s and continues to work as an engineer in the oil industry. He lives in Oscar, which is near the capital of Norway, Oslo. The former pro team that Mott played for won the Norwegian title in 2019 for the first time in 17 years. The club's chance at repeating was cancelled due to the coronavirus. Supporters rallied around them.
They advertised it as a game that would never be played. And they started selling tickets. And 2 days before, they sold out. They sold every seat in the arena. The club ended up making enough money selling tickets to a game that was never going to be played to break even for the year. Those sorts of little stories are happening all over the place to try and bring communities together.
The team that came together in 80-81 is still a fond memory for Mott 40 years later.
I'm happy with how it ended. I would have liked to have won the national championship that year that we had such a really good year. But it didn't happen. I don't lose any sleep over it not happening. It didn't happen.